And by learning the budget, you actually going to lay out everything that you want to do for the month. It don't have to be specific, but when I say budget, I mean put down, okay, it costs me this amount in gas. I'm going to put this amount for gas per month. You know, because you drive to work probably daily and you have the weekend that you ride around. So you can come up with a rough estimate of what it takes for gas. How much does it take for you? How much groceries do you usually spend? How many haircuts do you get per month? You know what I'm saying? How many times do you go out? You should set like, okay, I'm going to go out once a month. Do you buy clothes and shoes? You know what I mean? Set, okay, I'm going to spend no more than $75 on clothes or shoes or whatever. Set that up. Then, say you got your bills, your regular bills. But set a budget as close to the amount of money that you're bringing in and the amount of money that you're putting out. Fill that out, and that will allow you to know what you're doing and be able to budget effectively. You can write down a monthly budget, but what it does, because it's going to take a few minutes to do that, but there's different things that you're doing that you have to stick to. You know what I'm saying? So even though you're writing on this budget, you have to actually go and stick to this budget. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually interactive as well. So, if somebody want to call 404-735-0602 and talk it out, we actually can discuss as well. So this isn't just a me talking, you listen show. So, you know what I'm saying? Anybody want to intervene, chat, call in, talk, whatever, I'm open to it as well. Y'all know the number. This is my regular number, 447-350-0602. So if you want to call and intervene, interact, interject, whatever, I'm open. So at any time. So like I said, all right. So you got your budget. You lay your budget out. And you're gonna find that with this budget, you're gonna go over sometimes. You'll be under sometimes. So it's like I said, it's a rough estimate. You want to do that. You want to cut back on your spending is another thing. When I say cut back on your spending, you can look and see where are you going out of control. Like what are you going out of control with when it comes to the monthly payments or the monthly expenses going out here, man. If you find that your groceries, or actually let's say this, because groceries are pretty stable. But say you go to work and you eat out a lot. You eat out lunch every day. You eat breakfast every day, and you even at home you don't do a lot of cooking at home. Have you ever looked at how much that can break down to? All right, say this is a very rough estimate. Say for breakfast you have a $3-4 budget that you do. I'm just eating a biscuit, or I eat some oatmeal, I eat some fruit, whatever. That's $3. All right. Then for lunch, you decide to have either salad, a wrap, the chicken, a meal, whatever. But we'll go really loose and say $7. So that's $3 in the morning. That's $7 at lunch. And then in the evening, you decide, okay, man, I don't feel like cooking. Dinner's going to be about $10 at the least. That's 10 plus 7 plus 3. That's $20 per day. Times, we'll say you cook one day, and you take lunch one day, and you find breakfast or something. So we ain't gonna say 5 days a week. We'll say 4 days a week. So that's 4 times 20, which is 80, times 4 times a month. That's $320. Now that's if you did what I said. But say you do it 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Say you did it 5 days a week, and that's $100 a week times 4, which is $400. So anywhere between $320 to $400 a month you're putting out by just eating. And that didn't even include the weekends. That's just a work week. So that's something that you can look into easily. Some people say, I don't have $300 to save a month. But look at that. Look at how you can cut back on eating out by having leftovers, you know what I'm saying? Cooking dinner and having leftovers the next day. Some people actually cook on a Saturday or a Sunday and make meal prep and cook for the whole week. You know what I mean? So they have dinner for the week. There's some people that do that. So that's one thing. I see my man Max said clip coupons. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a good thing. Let's see what else you said, Matt. You said FYI, if you want to up your credit score, make sure you do 30% utilization on your lines of credit. Yes. Yes, sir. That one is a big one there. We're going to jump into that one a little bit too. But cooking and food is a killer. I have a young son in college. Well, actually, he's out of college now. He's a grown man. But in college and him as a college graduate, he runs the street constantly. You know how it is to be 21. So he eats out a lot. I'm seeing $7, $8, $7, $6, $5, $7, $6, $5, $7. I mean, that's several times a day, every day a week. And he probably goes to a restaurant on a weekend or whatever, you know what I mean? So his spending is even more out of control, and his earnings aren't even as much. You know what I mean? Because you can't compare it to, a grown person like us. So it's very tight on his end, and that's where young folks run into problems like running up their credit, because now they have credit cards which the schools allowed to go into. They allow these credit card companies to put these applications on the walls in the middle of your class. You look over to the left, you see Discover, you see American Express, you see Visa, you see MasterCard. Ooh, I wonder if I could get this. Yeah, they're going to give it to you. They give you this. You ain't even got a job. You're just a college student. You get the credit card easily. So you run out of tight on your money, or you some things that you want, you utilize credit. Next thing you know, you run your credit up, your income isn't so great. That's the start, and that's the seeds of it starting. That's the seeds of it starting, and how your debt runs up, and easily as a young man, straight out of college or straight into getting to your life. That's how it starts. It starts right there. So there's challenges that you can do. You know what I mean? You can cut yourself back to saying, okay, I want to spend this amount. I want to spend less than $50 a week. I want to spend less than $30 a week, or whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? You have to challenge yourself and think of ways of doing that to cut down those expenses. On the side of that, the next step is you want to set money aside each month. So instead of, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to you living paycheck to paycheck, that was step 1, step 2, step 3. Putting money aside each month is super important, because, I mean, you're going to continue being in that cycle. So when I say setting money aside each month, it can be what you saved out of those expenses and putting away. And it doesn't have to be a whole lot. You know what I mean? If you got $20 here, $20 there, think about it. Them was $20 for the last 5 months. Is $100 you done saved up that you may not ever have. I'm being really, really conservative with that, because a lot of us like, we don't have that, but yet you got enough to go get a bag of weed. You got enough to go get, you know what I'm saying, to watch, I don't know, the latest movie that came out 2 or 3 times, to get, you know what I'm saying, the best meal. The barbecue stand where the chicken's going to be $10, you know what I'm saying, a piece. You know what I'm saying? That date, something to drink, something. That money is always there. But it's, are you willing to put it aside and save that? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that boy Chuck said break it down. That's right. I'm trying to break it down. Like I said, this right here, I'm breaking it straight down. It's not going to be a very formalized format. It's just gonna be me talking real to you, and that's what I'm doing. Like I said, you can always interact. 404-735-0602. That's the number. That's my number. Direct. You call. You want to interact. Anytime you can jump in. If you got an idea on how to save or how to break down your debt, expenses, etc., then feel free to do that. Another thing is, once you get this emergency fund that you're starting to create, you have to know to not dip into it. You know what I'm saying? So once you set it aside, you're going to be tempted to dip into it. So what you want to do is probably do something like maybe an online savings account You know what I'm saying? Something that's separate from your normal bank that you normally go to. You know what I'm saying? You still may have access to it, but it's a little harder for you to get access to it. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. And lastly, another thing I said was getting out of debt and stop using the credit cards. So, because each time you use the credit card, it's increasing the debt, increasing what you have to pay back, and therefore it's taken away from your bottom line. You can't save money if your debt keeps going up. If you got to continue to pay, then that's where an issue comes in. You know, you're never going to get out of debt as long as you continue using credit cards. So the real key is you need to stop using credit cards until you're completely out of debt. Even if you have rewards, etc. You know what I'm saying? You got to really control and monitor your spending. The rewards are cool if you are using the credit card and paying them off immediately. You have to pay the card off immediately. There's some cards out here that will give you airline points and things for using their credit card. And they'll give you, I don't know, miles or whatever. Or they may give you bonus cash or whatever it is. But if you're doing it that way, if you can use your credit card to pay your rent and all that stuff, but you have to take the $895 or $1,000 and pay that card off immediately. Like, you can't let it sit. So if you're using that method, you have to really pay attention that you cannot falter and let that slide, because next thing you know, something's going to come up and you're going to use that money for something else, and then you're in trouble. Some people look at them getting ahead and getting out of that living paycheck to paycheck by waiting on a bonus. So at the end of the year, you're like, okay, I got that bonus coming. So when you got that bonus coming, you know that bonus is not always guaranteed. That bonus can essentially not be granted for that year. 2017, okay, the company says our numbers weren't great, so sorry, you're not getting any bonus. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, we can't help you. Let me read the chat here from my man Mac. Had a nice one here. All right, he said, when companies do a credit check, they either do a hard pull or a soft pull. A hard pull will show up on your credit report and negatively affect your FICO and Vantage score. A soft pull will not show up on your credit report. If you have hard pulls on your credit report, send out a multiple inquiry removal letter to the 3 credit bureaus. And Mac also said, misspelled names and old addresses can negatively affect your score. Send out a personal info update letter to the 3 credit bureaus. Hey, Mac, I got a question for you, too, as well. I saw this on a young lady's post the other day. She was like, Credit Karma. She said, rarely do companies, businesses use the score that your Credit Karma is reporting. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. I actually got a call coming in here. Let me see who this is. Hopefully this is somebody calling in. Hold on. This is the Kickin' It with Kysii show. Who we got here? Hello? Okay, I didn't get you. Say it one more time. Hello. Make sure my volume is up here. Hello? Can you hear me? I didn't get him. Alright, so whoever was calling in, we didn't get. So I'm going to try them back here. Okay, there we go again. Alright, you reached the Kickin' It with Kysii show. Who we got here? My man Ja War is here. Alright, what's going on, brother? How you doing there? Alright. 1 second, man. I just realized what was going on. My plug wasn't all the way into the phone because I got a case on it. 1 second, brother. Alright, there we go. Snapped in. There we go. Alright, again, we got my man Jawar here, man. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
Oh man, I am doing excellently, man. Excellent. I don't know if you've been able